What's going on, everyone? Good morning. It's Wednesday. It's 11 o'clock Eastern here in New York. So we go live, which means people start yelling behind my head right away as I go live. It's amazing. Amazing. It's like a button I press. Anyway, welcome to Call for the Creators. This is not a green screen. This is 42 West 18th Street. This is Adorama. You guys are welcome here in those seats as much as you're welcome in that chat. You know this. I got Jared with me today, but we're going to get into who this is. I know. We're going to get into who this guy is in a minute, but you know what I got to do first? First, I got to, jeez. First, I got to yell at the guys back there. It doesn't, see that on-air sign? It means nothing to people. Has no authority here. First, I want to say a quick thank you to, boom, the Adorama Trade and Use Department. You guys all know what's up with that, but I don't think you know how much they put into it. You have up to 180 days warranty with most stuff from the used department. Plus, if you want to trade in and you're not in New York, don't worry about it. They can do a virtual assessment of it, and they send you a free UPS label to ship it in and then get going with the trade itself. So it's really great if you want to upgrade and, of course, find some stuff for you to buy that you might. I know DSLRs are huge with your generation right now.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately. We'll get into this. We'll get into it. But if you're looking for anything oddball gear, I've picked up a lot of weird stuff here, which is great. If you're looking to trade in, awesome policies, and you have a really great service going on with it. So go check out Adorama Trade and Used on the website. And I also want to give a quick thank you to, oh my God, I forgot. Hold on. Hold, please. See, I'm out of practice.
While he's holding, I've used that as well. It's a great service. Don't sleep on it. It's really good.
Look at that. Tenba wanted to say thanks to everybody that comes on here. So you get a custom Coffee with Creators Tenba bag.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. Look at that.
Come on now. Film's going right in there. This is sick. Guys, look at this.
This kid's media trained.
Thank you, Tenba.
Tenbo was started right here in New York in 1977, and it was started by a photographer. So if you've been in this industry long enough, you probably had a Tenba bag. That's a nice bag, right?
That is a fantastic bag. I'm going to show that off.
I don't even have one of these. Custom plate.
I know. Look
People
at that.
Know
Coffee with Creators. What's up? You didn't get my name printed on it?
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
What?
That's what, see, this generation.
Kidding,
kids are entitled.
kidding.
See that? He gets a following on Instagram. Next thing you know is that's it. It's over, right?
It's over.
Check out the link down below for Tenba's full lineup. They got rollers. They've got a new 4-wheel roller that is amazing for travel, and their quality. I don't think I've ever had a Tenba bag actually fail or fall apart on me, and I love their tech pouches. I always say that every episode. Lastly, I want to say a huge thank you to Gotham Roasters, who is one block up on 19th Street. Cheers, kid.
Cheers.
What'd you get?
I got an iced vanilla latte this morning. That's my go-to.
That's your.
This is my fourth.
Let's lift this up a little bit. His fourth. That's how you know his kid's from Brooklyn.
Oh. I did stop off at a little deli cart right off before we started to get another cup of coffee.
Did you hear how he said the word deli? Yeah. Anyway, Gotham is on 19th Street. If you're coming here for a demo or a class, whatever, go there. Say Adorama sent you. Come hang out. Check out the $3 bins, all the stuff. But Gotham, I want to thank you so much. And by the way, it's owned by a photographer and a filmmaker, so you're kind of supporting the community there as well.
Stay within the industry, guys.
There you go. Who's Jared Tapy? Well, first of all, it's Tapy, not Tapy. We learned that, right? There we go. I know.
Appreciate it.
I know how it is. Look, this kid was popping up on my social left and right, and he was grabbing a microphone and just speaking his mind on what he's seeing going on in this industry as an art form and as a working photographer out there at a younger age. I mean, what I find really interesting about what you were saying and what you've been putting out there is a lot of times I come across people in your age bracket. They do a one and done and they're out and they move on to the next thing.
Sure.
They're doing gimmicky tricks. They're doing stuff like they invented it. Like, look, I'm doing shutter drag. I invented shutter drag. Or they found a filter and somehow they developed the filter and it's doing a trick.
Yeah.
You do long-term projects.
100%.
You marinate in it. You let it evolve. You let it actually have breathing room. I'm talking years.
Yeah.
This isn't just like, for a couple weeks, I'm going to try this. No, you find something you're interested in. You go out there, you shoot it, you discover it. You don't discover it, I'm sorry, but you kind of like, you live with it.
Yeah.
You really do immerse yourself in it. And I think it's so hard to find an attention span, let alone an ambition to keep a project going for that long. So I was like, you know what, Teresa, book this kid. I'm going to get him in here. Plus, I thought you had some really interesting takes on your YouTube channel. And I felt that you and me I felt like I was looking at a version of myself for a minute. So I was like, none of this kid's videos is under a half an hour and he's just talking straight to camera.
Yeah.
So you got some things to say. So I figured, let's get you in here. You're a New York local. First of all, what's what got you to the point of doing long term? What was it? Were you just not being satisfied with just trying to find a subject? Were you just like, street photography just isn't doing it for me? I need to find something to sink my teeth into. What was it?
It's more so about the history of photography. I got into photography at a very young age. I was 6 years old. My mom gave me like a little Kodak dispensable, and then that was it. I just hit the road, and I got most of my education from YouTube at the time, which was a lot of like, this is like 10 years old. It's like a lot of gear stuff. It's a lot of, not a lot of things about the actual art form of photography. And so I started checking out books at the library, found people like, Jill Friedman. Her first book was Resurrection City back in the 60s and everything. And then it just kind of progressed from there, where I just didn't feel as if I was getting enough from the photographs of what I was trying to do without spending real time attached to it.
Okay.
Just being immersed in it, and learning about what I was photographing instead of just going one and done.
Yeah, I think people lost the idea of having a conversation with your work. And I think that people cut off the conversation before the work speaks back to them.
100%. And that's key. It's just like, we are the things that we produce as photographers, especially, the documentary work, street work, and everything like that. And so I feel like not a lot of people do that retrospection or spend enough time to even begin that retrospection.
Retrospection is a good word, because I think a lot of us, we shoot something and then we feel like it's over it. We're out of our system. Then like 2 years later, it pops up back on your phone. It's like, you know what I should have done different. You know what I didn't go. Yeah, you missed something, right?
100%. And I feel like that's especially prevalent in my generation, with the attention span, with, not really understanding the history of photography or what it takes to be committed to something for so long. And so, I know I'm young. I'm 26 years old. I can come off as a little arrogant sometimes.
A little?
A little bit.
I just met you, man. I don't know. Seriously, I just met you like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, we've had a great conversation before this.
Well, I think
you guys should have been here.
I think we're a species, so I always try to look at it like that first.
Mhm.
You could tell people that are like you could tell people that are really in it versus like, I bought a camera and whatever. And that's fine. Whatever
I'm just gonna say that, like, it's fine wherever you are, but there's a long lineage to this medium that most people don't fully get to understand, and it just brings you closer to the work.
So one of the things I came across of you were a video you did where film doesn't make you a better photographer. And I always say that, and I totally believe it's almost like just because it's on the street doesn't make it a masterpiece or something like that.
It's just a picture of somebody walking.
I was talking more like graffiti stuff back in the day. If it was on a wall, like, I just have to take pictures, and they must be an amazing artist. But people shoot on film, it automatically is a better photo somehow. Especially what you just said, the attention span. Don't you think that we're having an adverse reaction now? Like, they're going to film, they're going to older technologies because they want to slim down the options and they want to take more time. Don't you feel like there's like a need?
There's a resurgence, 100%. And I'm glad that that's happening, because I do think that film offers a lot of things that the digital era does not. Intentionality and everything like that. I don't really believe that, film makes you slower, but I think it brings you closer to the work because of the physical aspect of it.
If you're thinking about speed, you're not thinking the right way anyway.
100%.
I think that when people say film slows them down, all they're saying is that just limits their options, or they don't shoot as much, but that doesn't mean anything compared to digital or film. It's your habit.
100%. You can be just as intentional with digital as you are film photography. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense when people talk about it that way.
I think we've lost the idea of what is the tool doing and what am I getting out of it? And is it going to give me what I'm trying to say?
Well, sure. I mean, all the cameras that we talk about, they're just black boxes. You know what I mean? Like, a tool is a tool is a tool is a tool. But I do think that there's a big resurgence in film photography. And I don't know if that might have to do with things like AI and everything, where there's already so much animosity towards that stuff. So it brings us back to a kind of like renaissance of analog stuff. But I mean, either way, I'm glad people are getting into it, especially the younger guys.
I do think that at least when they shoot film, they kind of understand a fefew things that are going on digitally.
Sure.
So,
I mean, it's so easy to transfer that knowledge from film to digital, and work that way.
I remember a million years ago, I was teaching in something, and I remember a kid asked me, so why is the burn tool a hand in Photoshop? It blew my brain. I was like, this kid's never been around.
People still don't understand, like, the dodge and burn tools in Lightroom. They have no idea where that started from.
Well, they also don't have a feel for it, right?
No.
Because they're used to having that manipulation ability, but they don't understand like what a feel for light is because they've been working with light.
100%.
Me and Daniel taught a film class. Where were we? Long Island? Yeah, so we went up to Long Island. We gave all these kids half-frame cameras.
Mhm.
They never even saw a roll of film before.
That's crazy.
And we taught them darkroom, and just seeing their reaction to something tangible that they can physically see and feel, and that also had its own personality. Like, it has an effect of its own. Light
Yeah.
touches it, it gets scratched, things like that.
Sure.
Yeah, it was really, really amazing. Where do you think this need to have this resurgence is coming from?
Online.
Do you think it's just all like
Yeah,
jaded?
I mean, I want to like ask you. You've been in this industry for so long. Like, you had your first exhibition at 15.
Where'd you read this? Where'd you get this?
I'm a journalist. I do my research.
I mean, you can okay, sure, but I would say that my like actual gallery career was more towards like 18.
18. Oh wow, 3 years.
It's a big difference. 15 to
It
18
is.
is a big difference. I'm
It's
sorry,
very
but
true.
it is.
It really is. Yeah, yeah.
15, I was doing stuff at like punk shows.
Oh yeah,
you
you
know.
were doing skateboarding, BMXing,
Mhm, mhm.
Subrosa. That's what I used to ride.
Oh, geez. No, that was a very niche brand, Subrosa.
Yeah.
No, I was a standard kid. I was
Oh,
a
were you?
standard S&M, stuff like that.
Baker boards and Subrosa. That was me. So you've been in this industry for so long. Like, where do you think photography would be today without social media? If we just got rid of everything and it wasn't around,
I
like, where
think
do you think we would be?
I'll be very honest with you, 'cause I was just talking to Joe McNally last night about this. It's easy to get burnt out when you don't feel a place that the work goes towards.
Sure.
And if you can self-publish, you've always got a 24/7 place to put it. Because when I was coming up in those days, you did a 5x7 print and it went into literally a shoebox. And you were hoping somebody saw it. I used to go to Union Square with a back pocket full of prints of all the riders and be like, this is what we shot. There was no, it's on MySpace. There was no, it's on Instagram. There was nothing, right? So I think social media gave people a reason to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it would have gone away, but I think it also opened an appreciation for how hard this can be. Because I'll tell you what happened during COVID. A lot of people tried to start like channels and do content. And really quickly, all the trolly comments you used to get were going away because they were trying to do it themselves.
Sure.
And they were realizing how hard it is.
It is. I
know?
mean, I'm sure all the things that you run. It's like a full-time job. Even when you're sleeping, you're thinking about it.
Everything we do is a full-time. If you shoot, whether it's for yourself or whatever, you never stops. You never stop thinking about it.
Yep.
You always go back to things you did and get psychotic about it. We're lunatics.
Yeah.
I've never met a genre of human beings like photographers that are more psychotic or obsessive than photographers.
Yeah, I mean, our medium is very unique because we're so affected by the work that we create as soon as we make it. You know, I was just talking about in a video about how, like, you know, when a musician makes a song, they know immediately if it's a good song. If a artist, like a painter, makes a painting, they know immediately if it's good. Whereas like photographers, we have to like sit with our work for a little bit before we can distinguish whether or not it's a successful image. Because especially like for me out on the street, I'm affected by like all this energy going on all the time, and I have to be more selective when I get home. And I still have that adrenaline when I'm out shooting and coming back in. I might make a subjective choice instead of an objective truth if that image is actually good. And I think that has a lot to do with like how photography has evolved being on social media, because the validation, you know, it's like people want that validation that their work is good, the likes and everything like that.
Yeah, but I think the difference with photography and other mediums is most people, and I call them civilians, they're not us, they don't shoot, they don't know what goes into it technically, but they know what they're looking at. And they automatically believe it.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a painting, it's an interpretation and a filtered version of something. It could be abstracted, and photo can be abstracted, but it's still documented, something that was in front of that lens to some degree, unless you get super fine art with it or whatever. But when you talk about music, there are no lyrics that people sing back to in this industry. There's no rock star moments in photography. You are on your own and you're doing it for yourself, no matter how much you say you're doing it for a check or a publication or whatever it is. Look, I'm on stages shooting for people. I absolutely think that.
Really?
Absolutely. I listen, if you can tell who's really in this because they're still in it.
Well, maybe for your generation.
Wow. Listen how this kid sounded like you know, I don't think it's that vast of a difference. I think in the end, you're a human creating something and there's got to be a reason you're creating it.
Yeah.
And unless it's for yourself and you're showing no one, but no one takes photos and go, I hope no one sees this.
That's true.
No one takes the shot and goes, let me just hide this from the world. Nobody.
Yeah. I do think that my generation has a tendency to be a little bit more in it for notoriety rather than the artwork.
Dude, you guys are so self-entitled.
A lot of us
so self-absorbed. It's bananas.
Yeah.
I mean, half the reason people watch my videos because they want to take something away from it to go do something for themselves.
That's why
which is fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we make educational content, so it's like, I'm glad that people are tuning in to learn something, but I do feel as if my generation kind of struggles with that self-absorbment. Especially, I just made a video that'll come out soon about like the difference between centering yourself and knowing yourself
Oh,
while
interesting.
taking photographs. And I feel like a lot of people nowadays center themselves in the work rather than presenting it to a broader audience.
That's fair.
And
That's
I
fair.
think that social media has to do with that.
Well, I will say, I think social media, if you grew up with it, I can only imagine being constantly under a lens and
Yeah.
being constantly judged. Everything you're putting out there is physically getting liked.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to have to go and drop a book in front of a human being and hear them to my face tell me what I'm doing that they don't want. And hopefully they'll hire me.
Sure.
But now you're literally putting out there and hoping to be discovered. Right now, people are looking at your work that you don't even know.
Sure.
You don't even know, right? But I think self-publication has changed everything. It's not the social part of it, social media part of it. It's that you can put it somewhere and
Yeah.
it can be found. But
Which isn't always a bad thing. I mean,
No.
if anything, it's opened the world up, the medium up substantially to
Yes,
people
yeah.
that maybe didn't have any inclination into how to get into the industry or learn about photography. So it's a double-edged sword, I
if
think.
you told a kid today, hey, you're going to take a photo, you're going to take this camera that costs you this much money, and it's going to cost you money every time you shoot. It might not even go anywhere. It might not even come out the way you want it to come out.
Yeah.
And you got to wait a bunch of time and maybe even go into a dark room and play with some chemicals. Half the room is going to walk.
Oh, for sure.
They might like it as like an art project for 5 seconds, like it's,
Yeah.
like it's summer camp, but they to stick with it. I think you can tell when someone's really enthralled in the process of it. And if that's what it is for you, that's great. But in the end, no one's there for the process, like a Pollock painting. No one's there for
Right.
the drips. They see the drips.
Right.
Right. So what are you putting out there in the world? Right.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing for people to decide is not, should I shoot or what should I buy to shoot? Or it's more like, what do I point this lens at?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I saw you shot the Mermaid Parade.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the Mermaid Parade. I've been going my whole life, but there's definitely people that go there because they're like, I don't know what to shoot with my camera, but this is a crazy event, so I'm going to go here.
For sure. I think that those are, especially for new photographers and everything that are getting into maybe street photography, documentary photography, like those places are great breeding grounds for developing your eye because like everybody's expecting a camera. There's a lot going on, but I feel like that's just like the starting place. And then you got to branch out from there and be more open to the streets around you and everything like that.
I do think one difference would be I grew up in an ocean of egos.
Mm-hmm.
While that might be considered a form of self-entitled, self-absorbed, I think that's the difference. That I was dealing with egos about like, I'm a god with this camera and no one's better than
Sure.
me. And now the younger generations that are coming up are more like, they don't have the ego, but they're so focused on who they are and themselves.
Yeah, I think that my generation in general is very introspective into who we are and where we land within history right now. And I don't know, I do feel, I mean, you see this generation of work. How do you think it like differs from, these past generations?
I'll be very honest with you. I think you guys have and this is going to horrible wording, but luxury or privilege of actually being part of a conversation finally.
Sure.
When I was coming up, there was nowhere to voice out. There was no Twitter. There was no Reddit. There was no nothing to go like, this is what I think about this. You're literally grabbing a microphone, pretending it's a roll of film, by the way. Very cute.
You like
Cute.
it?
I don't know. I'm still on the fence.
Some people hate it. Some people are like, oh, it's so creative.
Well, it's kind of, I don't know.
It's a little gimmicky.
But you're able to do that. You're
Yeah.
able to be like, I have this thought about this and I'm going to share it so that people get a perspective on something. And I don't think I see people from your generation doing that. I think they're so quick to be like, look what I can do.
Yeah.
But not, hey, let's talk about it. So that's why I was like, let me get this kid in here. I
Yeah.
want to see what he's got to say about some stuff. There's someone in the chat. Jim is saying, I think photographers have to have an ego to a certain extent, but the want for a little hearts and praise annoys me. And God forbid someone says something negative about the image. You have to have some thick skin.
100%.
If you're putting something out there that's subjective to the viewer and you're not open to them not agreeing, you're not having a conversation.
You shouldn't even be in the medium.
Oh, that's horrible. You're a cold person.
Thank you.
You hear this? You hear this? I don't.
If you don't have this medium any medium is a world of rejection all the time. And to be taking criticism on photos personally, is just redundant to me. It's like, okay, hear them out and then see how you can improve later. That's not to say that you have to make images for other people's validation, but take criticism with a grain of salt and learn from it every time.
But having said that, do you think that there's like bad reasons for being in it? Do you think that there's wrong intentions?
With people to get into the medium?
Mhm.
100%.
Like what?
Um, you know, there's like a lot of the bourgeois stuff.
To meet girls.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's basically what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, look, I deal with a lot of creeps in our comments talking about the models, and while I'm doing workshops, I call it out pretty hard because I think it's hilarious, by the way.
Sure.
But I do think I take a half step back, not a full step back, but I do realize some people use photography as a social lubricant almost. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they go to an event and they need something to do because they can't socially be there.
Oh, yeah. I just talked about this in another lesson that I was writing the other day that's coming out soon. That's about a lot of people take the camera as a barrier to the world
Yes,
between
yeah.
them and what's going on around them. And
Absolutely.
it gives them some sort of social validation or privilege to act a certain way because you have a camera.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I think that, of course, people are going to get in it for the wrong reasons.
I think there's a jockeying for access kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And I think there's like I got the media pass and you didn't kind of thing like that. That's just one area of it. But as far as them, why isn't another medium like that? You don't see painters using it like that because it's a documentative tool. They're part
Yeah.
of life. You're in the middle of life with photography.
Yeah, I think it also has to do with the fact that like you said, it's like real and you're photographing other people, and it can be used as like a social climbing aspect. Like another one that I really don't love is just like people who only take pictures of celebrities.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it's like, oh yeah, I have this photograph of such and such. I'm better than you because I have these photographs.
I think they're looking for any edge because it's so saturated. They're
Yeah.
looking for that one little half a sentence that'll make people look at them over the next person.
100%. And I don't blame them.
I don't blame you either. Look, I used to share a studio with a guy, and I'm not even making this up. This is like hilarious. The guy said, I photographed presidents. That was on his thing.
Yeah.
And then I said, wait a second. And I looked at his site. He had a very, very far away shot from like the back of the world of a giant group photo that happened to have Barack Obama somewhere in it.
That's crazy.
But he could technically say he photographed presidents, right?
There's a lot of technicalities that people try and pull off. But I mean, what are you going to do about it?
Someone has a question about it. So T-Dog is asking, Jared, I heard you talk about living in Georgia plus working on a photo book in one of your interviews. Can you share more about your motivation and process with a long-term project like that versus street? Well, you paid that kid, huh?
Yeah, right. What a great question. You took some time to write that one up. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a I don't really think about them in separate forms so much as you know, when I'm teaching about creating a photo book process, I always tell people that I think that for the first 6 months of wherever you're at, just go out and shoot indiscriminately and then come back and then start a sequencing process, print out little 4x6s. I'm sure you've with exhibitions and everything, that's how you would set yours up, little 4x6s and
I
everything.
think it's a lost art to not cull, but edit yourself down.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people can't learn. I think like,
It's a hard skill to learn.
but it's just like tact or like style. Like
Yeah.
it's very, when I see people that are getting into this, or especially because we teach a lot of lighting, they quickly throw like a box here, quick shot, and like, now what?
Yeah.
But they think they're done, right?
Sure.
And I think it's hard to teach what you're about to talk about is like, okay, I have all this. What out of it is actually going to boil down and say the thing I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But to them, they're like, but look, the sky looks good in this one.
Sure.
Oh, but look, that one. Okay, but what has the elements that I always say in a picture, every decision you make is a word in a sentence.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I might steal that.
Don't steal that one.
I'm not going to
I'll
steal
kill
that
this kid. This is the last time we're going to see him, guys. Enjoy it. I do think, I don't know what the solution to that is. I'm wondering if someone like you talking to your own level,
Mhm.
the way you're doing, because your ambition to do that.
I love teaching. And I want people to feel included in this medium because I think it's such a beautiful medium. It tells the story of humanity and the history of humanity. And so to get back to the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
question, 6 months, go out, shoot indiscriminately, come back, print little 4x6s, and then try and find connections between those photos. Not just style-wise, but emotionally, structurally, narratively, 100%. And then once you find that structure, then my first it was a 4.5 year long project down in Savannah. And The only reason why I really stopped it at that time is because I just felt like it met its natural end. I feel like you just know when you're done with one of these
Yeah, you're over it.
projects. Yeah, it's
You know,
just
you
like
said what you had to say. You
it's
showed what you had.
yeah, 100%.
Savannah's a weird town, by the way.
It's very weird. It's very
The
haunted.
cemetery in the middle and everything.
Yeah, and they're just buried all throughout the city too.
Yeah.
It's not just there.
It was built on catacombs.
Yeah, absolutely
So
nuts.
it's a very, if you get a chance to go to Savannah, go take some ghost tours. They're really fun.
I've been on a few there.
They're-
But then like for the past 5 years, I've been working on the New York City project and documenting here. I don't feel like I'm anywhere near being done with it yet. I mean, but it all just comes down to printing those out. I really just think having something tangible helps.
You know what I think really helps? Being around other people that are doing the same project right next to you parallel and
Yeah.
seeing what you're not getting.
Not having just your eyes on it helps
Right.
a lot.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm a big advocate for sharing a studio with someone,
Mhm.
seeing how they work in the same space.
Oh yeah, because you can always learn something.
Your perspectives are always going to be different. You
Right.
came from different places. You have different attitudes, feel. It's almost like if you're not willing to listen to other conversation perspectives, you're not opening yourself up. You're reading one page in a book.
You're being self-absorbed.
There you go. But I would say
That's called a callback.
if you're going to go shoot street, maybe for a little while, take somebody with you that's also interested in shooting street, and then go get coffee and see what you guys got.
100%. Because I mean, I'm sure that everybody's always heard this, but like two photographers can stand on the same corner and shoot something totally different.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also their approach to what tools to use, why, you know, some people lean on wide angles, some people lean on longer lenses, but why? Not just that they have the lens, why?
Right.
What are they doing? There's a big difference in the end result and the way a viewer views it. And the one thing you always got to keep in mind is they don't know what went into the photograph. They're
Yeah.
not technical. They don't get that. That was hard. They're just going, how does this make me feel? What am I connecting to? What is this saying? Do I get it?
Yeah, because nobody cares about the technical side of photography that's like not a photographer. It's just, is it a good image or not? Does it make me feel something?
I love it when people get caught up in that. And I'm like, I'm like, bro, she doesn't care. She
Yeah,
doesn't
like
care.
when people post their photos and they say like shot with such and such setting.
Straight out of camera.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, raw.
Oh.
That flare effect is in camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. I'm scrolling past 14 videos of AI bunnies, but I'll deal with your a flare, you say. Amazing.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you come from, the skateboarding and the BMX and everything, would you qualify that as like kind of street work? Because I mean, it's out on the street and
The
everything.
only reason I don't feel it's street because I'm not shooting candid moments unless it's like side stuff of like if I was working for the magazine, I was shooting like a trip we were on.
Sure.
Yeah, you're in the van, you're shooting, but like I'm setting up strobes. We know we're gonna hit that rail. We're waiting for cops to know when they're gonna like.
And everything.
You're curating that. That is just happens to be an on location shoot out of a backpack.
Yeah. So what
was
do you
also 20 years
feel?
ago.
What do you feel like is the things that maybe street and like documentary photographers can learn from the more commercial side of photography?
I
Because I feel like there's not a lot. I mean, there's differences obviously, but there's lessons to be learned in both.
Yeah, I think commercial photography is so intentional.
Mhm.
Everything that's in that frame was
Placed there.
curated and made there. You did the light, you did the emotion, you did that makeup, whatever it is, they came to your empty box and you built that frame.
Mm-hmm.
Street, you're dealing with what's in front of your lens. But if you can take a little bit of the street where it's candid and put it into the studio, now you're getting portraits that are in between moments and you're
Right.
understanding that language. If you take the curated clean, you take it over to street and they go, this is an amazing moment. Yeah, but if you just got to stand a little bit to the right and got the light bouncing off of this building,
Yeah.
they would look incredible.
Right.
Like you have to take elements from everything. Some of the most boring genres in photography ever for me have added to the most dynamic stuff in my career. Special effects makeup, that's not portraits. That's substrates, that's foam, that's silicone. I learned all of how to shoot all that stuff from shooting boring e-commerce.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do I make that product look like that?
I think I learned a lot about light specifically with I used to be a commercial photographer and food photographer, and like I used those lessons
Food
of
photography is a nightmare. Weren't you a food photographer for a while? Teresa, who's our event producer, was an event photographer. Was a food photographer. Go for it.
it can be fun, but I do think I learned a lot about light composition, color, and telling a narrative because it's all about selling a product. You got to make it appetizing to people.
Yeah, when you work with a food stylist for the first time, your brain goes, oh, like you don't even think about what they're seeing or what they're worrying about. Or the first time I worked with a colorist, she was mixing the color together colors for like a paint or something like that, that I was like, I never would have thought that would have made that. But now that I look at that yellow, yeah, when it gets darker, it does turn a little purple. And that's amazing. Like you learn all these weird things from the people around you peripherally, and it goes right into what you're doing. So I try to, I know you probably do this, but I try to absorb as much visual mediums as I can.
100%. I talk about this. I feel like it
gets stuck in your head. I mean, half my work is based off of Scorsese. You know what I mean? Like I just,
okay, thank you. Yeah, I talk about this all the time about how, like, in order to be, I think, a good photographer, you have to open yourself up to every different medium or facet that humanity has created art in, and just be expansive. Literature and music and film and everything.
And also learning the backstories of like, so for example, I'm on a whole kick of reading biographies of photographers, right?
Okay.
You will look at their work again and see a completely different image after you know what they went through with their life. And you're like, oh man, like I read this book on Ouija, and I'm like, that guy was a psycho.
I was just talking about Ouija in a new video.
He's always been known as crazy, but when you read his bio, like his biography,
he's nuts.
He was sleeping in the office for the newspapers that he was working for, hoping to get a job.
He would camp outside of police precincts just to like spy on them to see when they were leaving.
He's also the guy who was like, you know what, I'll shoot people in a movie theater with infrared, and that's what he got known for most. But he also did F8 and B there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and if you know that quote, thank you. If you don't,
real.
That's where it came from, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just really interesting when you realize there was a human that went into the image, because a lot of times, that's what I'm saying, there's no rock star moments. There's so many iconic images in this world, no one will be able to tell you who shot them. We had Neil Leifer here. And
I watched that one. Fantastic.
But he's one of the few guys that I think people might actually know that was a Neil Leifer shot. Like I think
for Muhammad Ali, you know,
but it transcended our industry. It went into mainstream. And so his name got around. He's in that boxing Hall of Fame, but most people, look, I lived through 9/11 here, and I saw impactful image after impactful image. I was working at a 1-hour photo back then.
Wow.
The FDNY came in with garbage bags full of disposable use cameras and just dumped them in there and said, like, whatever comes out, let us know. And I'm looking at like a first person view of it, right? But it's like, I'm looking at it from the view of a FDNY that never shoots photos, that doesn't know that all that dust is just going to make the flash explode. I'm not going to see anything.
Right.
But you're looking how frantic they are, how fast they're moving. And like, then you start realizing, but if I just saw that pile of photos, but these are horrible. I'm like, no, these guys are sweating. They've got a mask on. They can't see. It changes everything.
It really does. Have you ever read Interviews and Conversations with Henry Cartier-Bresson?
No.
By Aperture?
No.
It's
Aperture magazine?
Yeah. It's about this big, and it's just all of the interviews and conversations that he had throughout his life, and it just completely process what he thinks about photography, about life and everything. Completely changed my perspective on his work.
That's very cool. You know what I'm reading right now that I didn't think would matter, but it is really cool? You know Hideo Kojima?
Yeah.
So famous video game designer. He put together a collection of all the stuff that he's read that inspires him.
Really?
So it's
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. It's weird because I'm reading like an essay that has like something, had nothing to do with anything close to Kojima. And then you're like, I think that was in a Metal Gear game somewhere. Like you're kind of getting why it hit him so much. And I think it's important to get out of our own medium so much, it's so easy to get stuck in your own head just as a
100%.
human, forget about it as a creative. You know what I mean? So what do you say to people that like, hey, I'm really into this. I do it. I put all my blood and sweat into it, but I feel like it's going nowhere. How do you tell them to keep going?
I don't really have anything.
Come on, I need answers. What is this?
It's just, for me, it's obsession almost. You know, it's like, do you want to do this? Is this what you want to spend your time doing? And you have to realize that you're probably going to be bad at it before you're good. Bresson said that your first 10,000 images are your worst images.
Well, that's like you have to put 5,000 hours into something or something, whatever it's called.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you just have to keep going, and you have to examine other artists outside of your medium and within your medium, and you just have to have resolve, I think.
I'll tell you what I think is really interesting is now people are growing up literally with a camera in their pocket. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So like, I think they are developing the tools of like what makes a better image earlier, and they can decipher what's worth looking at more than another person.
It's one of those double-edged sword things, I think, again, because the medium is already so saturated. And I do hear a lot that, like, since we have cameras in our phones all the time, we always have our phone on us, that like, what's the need for a camera? And it's intention, and it's
absolutely. Yep.
It's authorship. It's You know, but it's also, I've seen a lot of shots taken on iPhones that I'm like, those are solid images.
The-
And if you can't afford, you know, like these super expensive cameras, I get it. Work with what you have. I
Dude.
think that they're fantastic.
We've had amazing films shot on phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's really about what the tool is, not that it's on a phone.
Right.
You know, 28 years later?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the reason he used phones for that was brilliant. He made a bracket that goes around the actor with about 15 phones.
Isn't that kind of like what they did with The Matrix, where they had all of
So that's a bullet cam.
bullet cam?
That was so that they could freeze into one moment and then move around it.
Yeah.
This is so that when there's something frantic or frenetic happening, he cuts to 16 cameras in one shot.
Oh, wow.
So you're looking at all these angles of one person, but they're able to carry because it's light, it's small. And he was putting it into places that you couldn't fit a camera. Like he was shoving it like inside of a steering wheel of a car and things like that. Like he was using the tool because of what was the advantage of the tool, not shot on iPhone marketing, you know? And I think people get discouraged because they hear all that.
Sure.
In the end, so when I started buying medium format digital, people are like, why are you buying it? Because there's a reason and a look that this gets me that I'm going to want for certain things.
Sure.
But I'm not going to shoot medium format for the sake of shooting medium format. And I think that that's another thing you have to kind of learn from other people. I don't think you'll ever get that on your own. The intention behind the tool.
Yeah. And I mean, I know we just kind of like went on this whole rant about like a camera is a camera, but each camera brings something different to the work that you're creating, and it helps or takes away from that process.
It's a tone of voice.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it allows you to do different things than different tools are. I get asked all the time, like, I carry around those 3 cameras that I have with me.
Yeah, you got a pile of stuff over here, kid.
Yeah, I've got a Nikon F4, Canon F1, and a Rolleiflex 3.5F, and I carry them.
Rolleiflex, so romantic.
Oh,
so
it is.
romantic.
So Vivian Meyer, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Dropping all these names.
Yeah.
Her story is incredible.
Oh my God. If you don't know that story, it's like, that's absolutely.
She didn't even get to experience.
But you know that she did send it to people.
She didn't get a chance to cash in on the love of it.
No.
And that is what's insane. So if you want to talk about people that are shooting because they're obsessed with it or into it, that woman. And
Gary Winogrand.
Mary's, and they're so good. Like her images are great.
I think that her work probably changed me to take a step into street photography. I really attribute finding her work to me being like, this is what I want to do.
So really quick, if you guys don't know Vivian Mayer, she basically shot in secret. She was taking care of children and walking around the streets. And then after she died, they found all of her photos.
Yeah.
And that's like the most boiled down version of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like there's a lot of people that are shooting for validation. That woman wasn't expecting any validation.
No.
And I think that's why the images might've been so great, because it really was for her.
Again, about the story, about the person. Like, but I think that, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, the photos are only good because of her story. I've heard that before. And I'm like, you're just not looking at the photos. Like, these are phenomenal masterclass pieces of understanding humanity and the connection between everybody around us. And I really do think that, like, when I first discovered her work and then watched that documentary, Finding Vivian Meyer by John Maloof.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like, I saw that. I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to be a part of the human connection and document history.
Did you ever see the documentary of the I Will Travel?
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the best. If you're a photo nerd and you want to just feel intensity of why and Avedon is talking in that documentary, which is rare. I forgot the name, Freelander.
Lee Friedlander.
Yeah, it was the I Will Travel. I think it's actually on streaming somewhere, but it's great. I recommend just watching all the nerd stuff. The documentaries are the best stuff.
They really are.
You really get a different. I remember taking girls that don't care about any of this stuff to like gallery shows, museum, and they're letting it wash on, but they don't understand what's going on behind that image.
Right.
And then you watch a documentary like, oh, I wish I knew that before we went and saw that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I remember showing someone Avedon's shots, and Avedon is one of my biggest all-timers forever. That's my guy.
Yeah.
And people look at it, it's like, it's such a simple shot. I'm like, it really isn't.
Is it for you about the process, about what he was able to accomplish?
That dude was so intense. Everything that guy wanted was happening in that frame. He was so psychotic about the littlest things, but he pulled this micro in-between moment between the in-between moments. And I can remember every time I've seen an Avedon shot, I'm looking at the guy with the beard of bees.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Marilyn, everything. It never left me. And that to me is a guy I got to pay attention to.
If you guys are in New York, you can go check out some of his work right now at ICP, showing at the Saint Laurent gallery
And
right
ICP has amazing shows.
They really do. Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
incredible resource. Actually, if you ever come to New York and you come to a demo, make sure you do a gallery top. Make sure you go to the museums, but also go to the colleges.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
some really incredible shows. Man, I'm like, this kid's exhausting me. What is going on here?
Sorry, guys. I
No,
talked a lot.
I'm on like no sleep, and the summer kills me. I am not a heat guy.
Are you not?
No, I am
Oh,
not.
I love the heat.
You're wearing 17 layers and a tie, kid.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Peacocking much?
Right. I think the kids call it LARPing these days.
LARPing. Wow.
Yeah.
That to me is a bunch of kids in a forest swinging swords at each other.
That's what I thought. But apparently that's the new lingo.
So this is considered role playing now?
I guess so, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, we're definitely from different cloth in this aspect. Listen, shirts out of a 5-pack, work jeans. If I can't work in it,
Sure.
I don't wear it.
I'll work in anything.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Plus, my girlfriend is in fashion, so I can't look like a bum next to her. She
Fair.
always looks good. It's like I can't do that.
Fair. But do you think that how's your thought process on disappearing versus being seen as the person
You're
photographed?
asking all the right questions. That's so good. Yeah. I was just talking about this in a video that's coming out.
Now you don't got to watch it, kids. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. I think it's a misconception. I think that it's not as prominent as a lot of people think. And I do think that this came from Bresson because everybody thinks about him as like the fly on the wall, the invisible photographer. But it's just, I don't think that he was disappearing. I think that he was just so naturalized in the act of taking photographs. And he was so confident in himself and what he wanted to do that people paid him no mind. And I think that this is really, I in personal experience, like if you go out into the world with a sense of curiosity and wonder and you're expressive and you feel as if you're excited to be there, it feeds off of you. People become more curious about it. Joel Meyerowitz talks about this in a documentary that he's in. And I love like William Klein. William Klein is like one of my other favorite photographers. He was so active and so close. There's so many shots that he has where they're looking at him directly down the barrel of the camera. And I think that is so intimate because they can tell that they're a part of something. And I think that energy kind of gets transferred. Is there a time and place for everything? 100%.
Yeah, but I also think you're talking about more, you're in the world taking photos of people. I have watched, and guys I've worked for in my way, way older days, when they came in with a 3-piece suit to shoot a commercial campaign, they're spoken to differently.
You're talking about the physical. 100%.
I'm saying like to be, because there's always 2 ways to go about shooting a photo.
Yeah.
You're either an observer or a participant. Right. If you're in my studio, I'm obviously a participant because my DNA is all over the fingerprints of everything I did in there.
Yeah.
On the street, now you're making a difference. Or am I going to make them interact with me? Like Bruce Gilden, right? You can't deny that dude's in your face blasting you and you're dealing with it. Or are you long lensing it? They're not realizing you're there and you're capturing something that they don't even realize being captured. So in the end, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer on it.
No,
I do think that it's just like any other tool. I do think that your presence is a tool and people have to understand that.
1,000%. That's an incredibly important point. Like every single photograph that we take, our presence is within that photograph, whether we intend to or not. And the people within the frame can kind of feel that sometimes, especially if you are caught or if you are being intentionally seen. Like those things bleed through the frame. I definitely, to go back to like the way that I dress and how I approach people, like, yeah, 100%. People treat me differently based on the way that I dress. And I think about that very intentionally, especially I try and be a chameleon to where I'm engaging at and where I'm photographing, like.
Yeah, but I think when you have a roll around your neck, people will.
Oh, that's my greatest tool.
Yeah, they go like, you know what? This isn't going to be a weird creeper shot.
100%.
There's just like a weird, like people click in a little bit with a different camera.
100%.
Sure.
I've talked about that to a couple of different colleagues that again, they go back and they're like, why so many cameras? That Rolly is one of my greatest tools for connection. People see that and they immediately start asking questions. When was it made?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a conversation starter. As much as it is a tool for image capturing, it's a tool for connection.
I'll tell you this, and this sounds so dumb, but I also think that this whole going back to the social media thing is also another part of that. So for example, after doing this for so many years, every now and then I'll get recognized.
Sure.
Not that I'm a rock star or whatever, but like
You're a
it
rock
will
star in my
automatically,
eyes.
thank you. Automatically people won't question me.
Right.
If I'm going to go shoot something there, but then there's an expectation. Like there's
Yeah.
like a bar I got to hit every time.
Yeah.
Or if I go to Comic-Con for the Comic-Con videos, like those guys will like stop and explain their entire setup to me, but they wouldn't do that for just anyone.
Right.
They feel like, no, you're going to treat it right. There's a respect level. You're going to give them their props. You're going to give them a platform. Like this is a platform for you right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that you have to take into account, it's not just what you're shooting or what you're putting out there. So I guess that's the moral of what we're getting at.
100%. And I mean, especially as social media and everything and my social media has grown, I take a lot of responsibility in how I approach
you're blowing
things.
up, kid. You're you came into my algorithm somehow and just wouldn't go away. And I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll listen to this freaking kid. All right.
Sorry.
No, it's look,
I'm like a bug,
yeah, but it's
like a
it's,
cockroach.
it's better that it's going somewhere, right? Like you don't want to be talking into that mic and going into a void. There's
Sure.
nothing worse than putting in all this work.
Can I be honest with you?
Go for it.
I'd keep doing it. Even if it didn't have the traction that it had, I'm so in it that like this is just all I want to do.
Yeah, but
It doesn't hurt.
like when it gets down to I got to pay my rent and I only got so many hours in the day, sometimes things fall down.
100%. I mean,
Look, I'm the most
before
burnt out guy on the planet right now.
Yeah,
Believe me.
before like I started to do this very seriously. I mean, I grew up in the restaurant industry. I was line cooking, I was serving, and working 2 to 3 jobs before that. And I do think that that's another thing that social media kind of inhibits, is this idea that we've never been able to see success happen in real time like it has with social media. You can see somebody actively getting more and more successful over time.
Or is it what they're curating to serve to you to believe that?
100%, because
You know,
social media is like a room full of mirrors. It's just that pretend to be a window, you know.
you're literally putting out what you want out there.
100%.
That's why when you go to someone's social, you got to go to that tab that people tag them on and go, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what you really look like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you.
Yeah.
I have to go through it all the time. Like, oh man.
Right.
Well, I mean, when you shoot a lot of high volume and you're giving out so many images, it goes out there. You don't know where it's going to end up.
Right.
And you know how many times I've caught people using my images for commercial use without me getting paid for it, just because they tagged me like an idiot.
Oh yeah, they think that they're entitled to it just because they tag you.
What?
Yeah, sorry, credits don't pay the bills.
Dude, there was some kind of tooth color company that was making like gold coloring for like pirate teeth that I did a shoot for somebody else. They were in that. They used it in their campaign. They paid money for marketing and they tagged me. And I'm like, why would you tag me in something? You owe me money for this. You can't use you can't just use my work to make money from it.
Well, there's a lot of disrespect towards photographers in the industry, especially commercial and everything like that in general, I feel like, where it's just like, it's almost as if like the same thing that happened before Magnum came around.
Oh, Magnum, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
before Magnum came around, a lot of people don't know, like the Copyright Act came essentially not fully because of Magnum, but because of the Magnum model. And before that, like photographers were seen as like practitioners rather than artists, and they didn't own the rights to their stuff. I still feel like that kind of applies to a lot of commercial work, where it's like you're more seen so as like a product instead of an artist. And so people don't pay you for that because they're like, yeah, they just did their job. Where it's like, no, there's so much that goes into the knowledge of learning how to be a commercial photographer, a portrait photographer, and everything. And that's your image.
What I think it comes down to, and this is, I think we're still in a little bit of a Wild West, and it got shooken up again because of AI.
Oh,
But I do think in the end, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're shooting, why you're shooting it, where it's ending up, it's on an agreement-based situation.
mhm.
If you agree that they have the rights to it before you start shooting, well, guess what? Like,
Yeah, you
you
lost.
made an agreement, right?
Yeah.
Or you don't do that job, right? So I signed a lot of those bad agreements when I was younger.
I have too. I'm in that current process right now.
Hey, I got $600 for that day though,
Oh, good.
you know,
Yeah.
right?
Awesome.
Yeah, it's brutal. And I know it's brutal and it's tough, but like you really either stand your ground, but you also want to build up a strong enough
Portfolio.
and just a career in general, because it's not just a portfolio.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that put out an amazing image, but it took them like an entire day to get that one image. I'm not hiring you for a commercial campaign. You're going to cost me 10 times as much.
Yeah.
So there has to be a career and a reputation built.
100%.
That's your value as well. Hey, Jeffrey, that's Jeffrey Berliner.
Hey, Jeffrey Berliner. How
That's
you doing, boss?
that's the most color I've seen him wear. Amazing. It is hot. If you guys don't know Jeffrey Berliner, he was on this twice. He was on podcast and he did an amazing analog camera demo. I wanted these guys to meet, so I'm making a thing here.
Did you? Oh, well, I'm excited to talk. I appreciate it.
See? I'm live, Jeffrey. I'm live. All right. Jeez. This is what you do. You get these guys talking. So we don't have too much time left. Is there anything you're currently working on or going to work on, or you want people to plug into to stay up on?
Sure. So you can find a lot of my written articles on Substack at Jared Thomas Tapy or The Creative Connection. My Instagram is at Jared Tapy, JaredTapy. I try and do coordinating YouTube videos, long form. I was getting my start on Instagram and just posting little short bits, and I got too burnt out. So now we have like full long form documentary pieces. You can find all of the lessons that I teach. I have 6 different segments that I go about each different aspect of photography. Everything from the history of photography to philosophy, psychology, marketing, everything like that. Other than that,
wow, look at this 4 years ago. Look at how different you look.
yeah, man.
Jeez.
That's when I was in Savannah.
Is this before you met the girl in fashion? Is that what
No,
happened?
we've been together for 8 years.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Give this kid a medal.
She's the best. Yeah.
Good for her. Good for you. I think you're doing cool things. I think you're doing it with the right intention, which is the biggest part.
I'm trying to.
And I think that you'll just keep on refining and evolving over time. And obviously, so will everything you're talking about. It's going to keep on changing. You're doing the history stuff now, but we're going through a lot of crazy times right now.
We are.
Real quick. I think that when I go to these like Professional Drivers of America, when they have a meeting, it's all dudes over 60.
Sure.
Like there's no one talking for what's coming up. It's people that already dealt with things.
Okay.
So I think it's important that your voices get out there. I really want to have some I think you're doing exactly what you should be doing. I do. Hopefully we'll get you to come do some photo walks here. I think would be very cool.
Yeah.
If you're in New York, maybe we'll organize some stuff. But do you, in the end, is there like a project you got an eye on that
yeah. So I've been working on my latest book called Souls in an Urban Landscape for the past 5 years.
You're such an emo-y art kid.
Thank
Souls in an urban
landscape.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So I've been working on that for the last 5 years, and I'm going to be continuing to publish work from that along the way. So I guess just keep your eyes out for that whenever it comes around to publishing time.
Marcus just said 8 years in this dating economy. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just saving up if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's like what it is. Mark is actually a great photographer. He was on here. He's a guy that's doing, I call it blue collar stuff. Like he's shooting for a living, but his stuff ends up on Subway ads and no one knows that he shot it.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. And he doesn't realize that's sick. So I'm like, you kind of have to.
What are you talking about? I think that's awesome.
I know. He's got to give himself more
times I have like an existential crisis looking at one of those Subway ads.
You know how lazy I feel every time this kid posts? He's in my Discord every day is like a stack. I'm like, do you ever go home? He's like, this is this parade. This is this event. This is that. I'm like, I didn't even know this happened in New York. What is this event you found? So give yourself some credit, Marcus, and check out his episode on here as well. There's almost 100 episodes. I got a surprise coming for you guys on the 100th episode. You'll have to wait out for that. I don't even know what episode I'm up to. What am I, 90? This is 96. All right, cool. Listen, stay up on Jared. I'm going to definitely stay up on him. I think we're going to try to plug in to do some things with him. Make sure you check out the rest of his playlist. Hit subscribe on this channel. And don't forget, boom, this QR code takes you to the events channel. Guess what, kids? I'm jumping back in the game after 6 months of not doing live demos. I am doing one on July 14th. Later today, though, Charles Chessel will be here talking about how he got his book published. Ab Cisse will be live doing a demo. It is stacked. It is July 1st right now. We're booked till October, kids.
Wow.
You're good. Yeah. And you should come at the end of July because we do an in-person photo critique for everybody.
I'll be there.
So you might want to come hang out for that. Guys, I hope you have a great rest of the week. I will see you later today at 5 o'clock on the events channel. Jared, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I will see you later. I don't know. Go be photographer. Go be nerds. Bye, guys.